Good morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Edward Shaw, and today is our Weather Authority alert day, given the fact that we're going to have that system come through the region, bringing in potentially some damaging wind gusts. That's going to be the #1 concern, but we can't rule out the chance for a stray tornado and some larger hail in some of these stronger storms that we end up seeing. Now, the good news is that the threat level for tornadoes and hail has gone down since yesterday, and that's due to the fact that this front has produced a lot more tornadic activity to our west, using up a little bit more energy, and is also moving a little bit faster. However, still can't rule it out, as both are still within the realm of possibilities that we could see later this afternoon. This morning, we've seen Wytheville and Blacksburg get drenched with rain. We just had a brief thunder shower come over the building of the station, and likely going to see the same happen in Martinsville here within the next few hours. But that system that just went over us is not the one that we're going to be concerned about. Right now on radar, you can see a little bit of a closer view. A lot of that heavier rain starting to be more isolated than widespread, limiting to parts of Bedford and further to the southwest along parts of the Virginia-North Carolina border. However, as we take a little bit of a wider view out, you'll start to notice that the more southwest you go, the more severe weather we end up seeing. Now, obviously, it's a little bit warmer down there and there's a little bit more moisture, but certainly watching as tornado watches up into parts of northern Alabama, into Tennessee, and then severe thunderstorm watches further to the southwest in Louisiana and up into Mississippi as that system continues to head to the east. Now, as we start seeing a little bit more daytime heating, that's when we could start seeing the worst of our severe weather. Now, if you remember yesterday, that enhanced risk that you see that just barely grazes the southern parts of our viewing area, that actually extended yesterday up into the Roanoke Valley and parts of the Lynchburg area. Today, the Storm Prediction Center out in Norman, Oklahoma, has reduced that risk and limited it further to our southeast. However, we're still under that slight risk throughout the entirety of our viewing area, so very well could see some severe weather still and likely will in the afternoon. Damaging winds still the #1 cause for concern with this system, although tornadoes and hail can't be ruled out. Flooding, given the fact that we've been abnormally dry over the last few days, and the fact that a lot of these rainfall systems that are going to be more localized, that we see the heaviest rain, that's going to keep us a little bit more limited in terms of flooding worries. Power outages obviously going to be a concern with the wind, but again, certainly going to have to time that all out. So let's do that. Take a look at what we're expecting about 8 a.m. You could start to see some clearing and a little bit of breakage in the clouds further into parts of New River Valley, up into parts of Northern Virginia and Pennsylvania. Now, as that clearing starts to become a little bit more widespread, specifically over eastern areas east of Roanoke, into the south side region in Lynchburg, into central Virginia, that's the area that we're going to see the most instability due to the fact we're going to see the most sunlight there. In turn, once that cold front arrives, you'll start to see some of these areas where you can see a little bit of pink here and some of these darker reds. That's going to be where we see our peak thunderstorm intensification as that front approaches the area. Now, once that front passes over parts of Roanoke, we're going to actually be mostly clear all the way throughout the region as that severe risk heads further to the east. So good likelihood that after sunset, we'll be out of the woods with this system and we'll be able to breathe easy for a little bit. 78 today by the time we get to 2 to 3 p.m. in Roanoke. And again, that's going to be the hours that we see the greatest threat for severe weather between about 2 to 5 p.m. today, with high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s occurring around then. As for your 7-day outlook, again, alert day today, but we head into tomorrow, much cooler, and then if you're a fan of warmer temperatures within the 80s, as you take a look at what's going on later on in the week, you notice we see a couple 80 degrees days there when we start to warm up a little bit more.